So what is up, guys? Not only do you get your Turbo Dayusha profiles for the week, you are now getting your Set 17 review. I'm 3 for 1 today, so let's get that going for you guys. We're going to go over all the cards in Set 17, so you have something to look forward to in the next couple months. So get ready, guys. We are diving into what was released in Set 17, and after that, we'll try to do a little bit of prediction what Set 18 will look like and go over the cards in Set 18 in the near future. So let's get this started. So obviously Jugabout finally enters 0. When the attack by a Phantom, this unit boost hits. CB1, put this unit into your soul and call 2 grade 1 cards at rest. So again, this has a lot of combo potential. There's now combo potential with Raging Form Dragon, but it is a tricky tech to pull off. You could do Raging Form Dragon 2 times in the match if you kept Jugabout alive long enough for a Phantom to hit something, call more units, and then you eat the Phantom afterwards. Something like that. Depends how you have it kind of prepped. It's very important. If your opponent puts a G3 out, then that gives you prep support with your Phantom Dragon, because you need to hit something in order for Jugabout to really go off. So make sure you keep that in mind. It's still a nice forerunner to see. And lo and behold, there's Blackwing Swordbreaker. When placed, Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. So with Jugabout and Swordbreaker, guess what that means? You get to draw 2. And you can actually run this I would see Swordbreaker more in a Phantom Blaster Overlord deck. Just because it is Phantom. It is a Phantom unit, so you can use this with your Phantom Blaster Overlord. So after calling 2 units and drawing, you legit have 4 cards that you can either eat and retire and do some push plays with Persona Blasting, so on and so forth. So with Swordbreaker there is a lot there. There is a lot. So Sharp Point Revenge, I keep doing this because I think my glasses are there. Sharp Point Revenger Shadow Lancer. When placed, discard a grade 3, and then you get to add Mordred to your hand, which is nice. They were going to add that. Self-Control Revenger Rakia. When your grade 0 rearguard is placed, if your Vanguard's a Revenger, it becomes a 10k, so Dark Call Trumpeter's effect, partner in crime. Alright, Eloquent Revenger Golem. When this unit boosts a Phantom Soul Blast 1, and that unit gets 4,000 power. So again, 21 beat stick if you're using Phantom Blaster Overlord. So I want to say forth, so that way Phantom Blaster Overlord always hits magic numbers, but it costs a Soul Blast, so you gotta be careful with your soul. So no one's gonna run that. I'm just joking. No one is never gonna run that. I'm sorry. Alright, Wily Revenger Mana, the new beautiful Revenger unit that everyone's on the rage about. When placed, you may call grade 1 or less Revenger from your deck to another rearguard column, but put it back in the deck. Obviously, this is used for Raging Dragon Falter. You can call a Trumpeter, call it G0, so now you have everything for Raging Form Dragon. You can definitely use this with Drag Ruler Phantom. Drag Ruler Phantom eats 2 units. You deal your opponent 1 damage, then try to set up a nice 16k column to smack again. So be careful when you do Drag Ruler's effect, boys. This does help you. This gets you calls. This technically gets you an attack on an Intercept or Vanguard, depending how the columns are set up. Believe it or not, Revenger Bloodmaster actually came to the game, but they kind of nerfed it. One place, if your damage zone has 4 or less cards, counterblast 1, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face down and draw 2 cards. So it's a perma-ping. They gave us the perma-ping, but they didn't have to make us waste CB just to get a perma-ping. That wasn't nice. Obviously, you'd be using this with Drag Ruler Phantom. I guess push yourself to 5, draw 2, eat this, deal 1 damage. If it was a heal, he whiffed it. They want you to do that stuff. I know it's like high risky and gambling, but if that's what they want you to do, that is the creators doing. Overcoming Revenger Rukia. When your grade 1 or less rearguard is placed, if your Vanguard's a Revenger, this unit gets... Oh, okay, so it becomes when G1s or just grade 1 or less. So this works with Trumpeter. Why did Trumpeter get a lot? Why does Trumpeter have like a lot of units now? I guess Trumpeter had like awkward common support. Okay. Demon World Castle Stumagriff, whatever his name is. When placed, if your damage has 4 or less, this is pretty much the self-ping for Shadows. Shadows finally get a self-ping, but these become so irrelevant once we get to Legion. So a little too late there, Game Studios. Why? Why do you do that to the people? All right, back to Drag Ruler discussion time. If your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less, counterblast 1, retire 2, Revenger rearguards, and get 10,000 power and deal 1 damage to your opponent. He performs a drive check, damage check. When this unit attacks, it gets 3,000 power until the end of the turn. So that was a nice little buff, so he can actually hit 2,600 if he got boosted by a 7k. Or no, he would just be 2,300. He just hits cross rides. Never mind. So the whole point why they had to make him a 1-turn, he'd be too spammable with mana. Mana being able to keep, calling a G1 in herself, that's a free hit. And since that's a 14k column, this unit keeps going up every 10k. So they had to limit this because this technically hits over trigger. Because, again, you're doing 1 damage every time with his effect if you have all the manas prepped, I guess. And that would just be a huge no-no. Big no-no, guys. No. Card's good against the Garmer battle, in case your opponent's trying to not lose his PG yet. Definitely doing Drag Ruler Phantom is going to be your best bet in that matchup. So tread lightly. Desperate Dragon Revenger. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have more rear guards, CB1 plus 5k and gain a crit. The only downside of this, you have to have more rear guards. But the good thing about it, at the start of your main phase, you retire rear guard to retire one of your opponents. So at the end of the day, if you have 6 units, it's a guaranteed crit. So they try to bypass that effect with Desperate Dragon. And with that being said, they just want you to kill back rows while you have front rows. But at the end of the day, you are able to hit that crit every time. You won't actually not be able to hit Desperate Dragon's crit, is what I'm trying to say. Halberd Revenger Predator. I think this card was a fighter collection unit. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, retire 2 Revengers, and gain a 10k and a crit until the end of battle. But it also has an effect when placed. Counterblast 1 to call grade 1 or less rear guard to the rear guard column as this unit. So again, a little bit of this is another Swordbreaker combo. But you need to kill Revengers, so obviously Swordbreaker and this are not working out. But the only thing was his effect wasn't limited to calling a Revenger. It was just limited to a grade 1 in case you're thinking about Swordbreaker, depending how you're feeling at the end of the day. And if you're going to sack your G1 back row just to get a crit, there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm also guessing they want you to call Trumpeter with G0s with this. And they obviously want you to keep killing your Trumpeter in the G0 for these types of effects. I mean, I'm not going to put it past them. I feel like that's where they're going. Anyways, Shadow Blaze, a dragon. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, it gets the following ability until the end of the turn. At the end of the battle, counterblast 1, retire 2 rear guards to retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards. Well, I guess if you do self-damage, but why would I kill 2 of my rear guards? That makes no sense. I guess he would have to have like a really bad hand, or if he played cards on his field, I guess he'd try to clean up. Don't think it's worth it, though. Demon World Castle, Totazigel. It's a 1-turn, counterblast 2, retire 2 Demon World Castle rear guards to call 3 grade 2 or less from your grade 2 or less from your deck. So call 3 grade 2s. Oh, you call 3 grade 2s. Okay. Try any Demon World Castle. Is there another Demon World Castle? Is he the only Demon World Castle? Good. The G2 is a Demon World Castle. Awkwardly enough, this guy has some random budget tech with Blaster Dark Revenger. And I'm not going to lie. It's really interesting. Actually, no. You can call even grade 1s. Why do I feel like teching this? Counterblast 2, retire 2 Demon Castle. If you're playing a Demon Castle deck with a couple of Revengers, call 3 grade 2 or less from your deck. Call 3 units that are grade 2 or less from your deck. So you pretty much set up columns. I feel like this isn't good, but I feel like he has his own deck version of this. I would definitely want to test something like this in the future with Set 17, because I gotta be honest, this effect does seem good. It's interesting. I mean, it's not oh my god, I want to bathe in it, but it's nice. Gigantotech Keepa. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, one of your units get 3,000 power. Okay. So, lame. Okay. So we're done talking about Revenger. So you saw a couple extra cards. They added the Self-Pinger and a Self-Damager. It's a little late for that Self-Damager since after Set 17, we go straight to Legion. So I guess enjoy the Self-Damager as you can. Think of nice plays, some combos with it, and have yourself a good time. Pretty much. But then again, you look at the castle, I guess that's deck thinning, you know, get rid of your G2s and then call Blaster Dark Revenger with a Doreen and then retire and then just go from there or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, all right, back to this. So Starvator World Line Dragon. At the start of your ride phase, we're on Link Joker now. If your Vanguard is not a grade 3, discard a reverse card from your hand to look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add a card to your hand. If you add a reverse unit, you add a floaty back to the hand, back to the deck. Also, I just realized this, and I didn't bring this up in the actual drop video. This guy can search cards. So technically, if you're drawing like a lot of G3 crap, say your hand looks very, very crappy, you could technically, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can try. You can technically stay on G2, keep searching for stuff, and just go from there. Obviously, how I think this card's going to play is you're going to not do anything until you're at LB4 or LB5. You might be searching PGs. You might be searching Glendios. I would say have like a good amount of reverse cards in your hand to pull off these combos, but Worldwide Dragon's very interesting. I mean, you can, before you even ride a G3, and not only that, you can pitch a reverse unit to even grab a PG before you ride Glendios or your break ride or something like that. Definitely a lot to this G0 I actually forgot to mention, and there is a lot of good tech with them if your hand looks really good. By hand, I mean, if you drew all your reverse units too early and you need to fix up your hand a little bit, I think it wouldn't be such a bad idea. Just saying. Starvator, Ruin Magician, when plays, counterblast 1 to add a reverse card from your drop zone to your hand for each of your different reverse rear guards. Engraving Starvator, Praesiosidium, when plays, countercharge 1 for each of your different reverse rear guards, so make sure you're running 2 different types of reverse units so you can get the best of your countercharge to 2. Taboo Starvator, Rubidium, when placed, if your Vanguard is a Starvator, Omega Glendios, retire this unit to have one of your reverse rear guards get intercept. Interesting tech. I heard in the TC it made it be a booster as well. That would be nice. But again, 11k intercept just in case, but I don't think we're running that. I don't think there's room for it. But we'll work our way around it. I think we're going to just play a lot of, we're going to work our way through most of the games. All right, next, Planet Collapse Starvator Erbium. During your turn, this unit gets plus 1,000 power for each of your different reverses, so max 9,000, or if somehow you're just playing rainbow reverses. Starvator Magnet Hollow, when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If your Vanguard is a Starvator, counterblast 1. So again, a little bit of a, I mean, again, I think I have glasses. I just did a glasses thing again. I'm so used to it when I wear them for 2 days. So with Magnet Hollow, you technically, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could technically keep doing fodder plays until you get all the pieces, and then just go go big boom. Technically, you could do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to high roll yourself, go for it. You could. After reading the Forerunner, honestly, guys, he does bring up some interesting takes. I mean, and if your opponent pushes you to 5, I mean, if you stood on the G2 phase for a long time, and once you get the reverse units, you have, say you didn't even attack, but you are going to attack because you want to search reverse and prep your hand. Say you did all that, and you had all the cards for the combo. Say he kind of pushed you, let's say LB4. Then we start the push game where we're going to start locking every column with Cold Death. Cold Death's going to keep coming out. Then he's going to be completely locked. We're going to keep recycling our reverse units as long as we have a couple in our hand with Ruin Magician. And then we'll be able to countercharge. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Okay. Cold Death Dragon. When placed, if your opponent has a lock card, counterblast 1, and then at the start of your opponent's next turn, your opponent puts a card. So technically this is good because you can ruin an opponent's draw. And by that, I mean you could possibly ruin whatever he needs. And that being, what if it was a PG he needed? Well, that's gone. It was a G2 that retired. That's gone. That's on the field now. He couldn't use the effect. So Cold Death's going to be good. That's why it's big final push with Glendios, because Glendios, as you all know, has that beautiful effect. When your reverse rear guard is placed, lock an opponent's rear guard to the back row, and that's when you start playing 4 Cold Death Dragons from your hand if you have the CB. The good thing about this lock effect, it's not bound by CB. The only thing that's bound by CB right now is the Cold Death. So if you were going for that, yes, that's what you're going to want. And then the CB to keep everything locked, that's what you go for. But then again, that's when after you go through all that, you try to get your reverse units to countercharge with Praesiosidium, so you can countercharge. So with Glendios, there is so many things going on. So many. Again, if there are 5 more cards, you win the game, so they gave you that nice effect. I do like this effect. All your reverse rear guards get 5,000 power, but cannot be locked by your opponent. So again, prepping for the mirror match, but it all depends on how the Cold Death Dragon match gets placed, because you kind of get to decide on how or where you put your units at the end of the day. I like how my deck profile is still like in the video. I didn't even go back to normal. There we go. Sorry. Starvator Reverse Cradle. Once per turn, when your reverse rear guard is placed, lock one of your opponent's rear guards at the back row, and then this unit becomes 16k. So he has little power creep moments. Magic number, like how Tar2 summons a 7k, and then you have Mordred. When placed as a rear guard, if your Vanguard is Glendios, you can discard a Glendios and add a reverse card from your drop zone. So any reverse card from your drop zone. So again, you're getting some pluses with that, so that's nice. That's why Glendios and this work together. Cradle is nice because Cradle can set you up before you play your pseudo effect. And since it's reverse Cradle, technically you're locking already. So now you got to prep the pseudo play. And then your Cold Death Dragons. And then you're pretty much going boom, boom, boom. Counter charge, this, that, Cold Death, all that big stuff. All that big energy. Edic, Starvator, Halcyon. All of your reverse rear guards get intercept. So I actually did want to do this video kind of quick. Like, not quick, but actually wanted to tackle this set now, because once I saw this, I wanted to discuss about it. So, with Halcyon, he turns your crappy RNG into a big intercept game. So, every time you draw G3s or G2s, you're playing such intercepts, you can practically run a crit build with this. That's what's interesting about it. You can run a crit build since your whole deck will be intercepts. Yes, they will be intercepts. So with Halcyon's effect, I mean, yes, it's bound by Limit Break 4, but that's the whole point. They hit you once with a Vanguard or a Rear Guard, then boom, now your things become intercepts. So now you're back to an intercept game where you're slowing your opponent down again. So the more you slow them down, now you have 11k intercepts. That's nice. Halcyon actually gave boost too, but again, they nerfed it. But Halcyon's nice. I just wanted to talk about him. Really cool. I mean, if you're having a crappy RNG game, not a bad budget option. Just turn every reverse vanilla in your deck into an intercept and go for game. Technically, you could use this with a reverse cradle. I mean, if you're doing a reverse cradle deck, but the intercept game is too strong. All right, Starvator, Dark Band Dragon, Counterblast 1, lock one of your opponent's back rows. All right, and during your turn, if you have more rears, all right, useless. Soundless Archer, Conductance during your turn. This means, wow, that took a while just to add that. Okay, so that is all of Link Shaker. As you can tell, Glendios is still Glendios. Cradle is still Cradle. And Cold Death's doing Cold Death things. But lo and behold, with my dumb brain now realizing that this effect can be infinite if you have the right cards for it. Which means you can prep everything before you do everything. It'll be situational, but once you play it right, you're good to go. Because obviously the whole point is to keep pitching your reverse units. And then guess what? You play Reverse Cradle. Reverse Cradle is going to add those cards if you have Omega Glendios in your hand. So you'll be able to add those reverse cards. So again, that's how you're going to try to profit back your reverse units. But yeah, Glendios is going to make my brain hurt. Because I'm going to have to really think about the combos. Ugh, GG's there. For real though. So we are done talking about all that Link Joker stuff. We are now entering Kagro stuff. Let's see if we missed anything or what's new. Obviously, you're seeing the Forerunner is new. Lizard Soldier Fargo. If your Vanguard is an Overlord, put this unit to your soul and then get the following ability. When you attack, hits a Vanguard, return for one of your opponent's rear guards. This is ass, especially if you're even using reverse. This is ass. I don't like it. It should have just been with the Break Right Overlord. When we attack an intercept, the other intercept dies, and then you can do combos. They really should have changed this effect around. I know that for a fact they should have changed this effect around. Eternal Bringer Griffin, again, you discard grade 3 to add the G3 Break Right to your hand, or the G3, normal effect to your hand if you want. Again, with Griffith, that's what it's all about. And once you have an Overlord in your drop, you already know what's coming up. Violence Horn Dragon during your turn. If we have Bear Guns or Overlord, 10k. Dragon at Night Razor. When your Vanguard attack hits, this unit gets 3,000 power to the end of the turn. Oh, it becomes a 9k booster. That's actually not too bad. I guess it depends on the field. I guess if you had like Horn Dragon or something and your Vanguard hits 21k column, not too bad, I guess. I don't know. Seems plausible, maybe. Dragonic Burnout, when placed, counterblast 1, and then remove the Overlord you pitch with your Eternal Bringer to, retire and start doing your push plays. Dragonic Dancer. Arabella, when placed, counterblast 1 to have one of your Flame Dragon Vanguards get 5,000. So they try to make your Vanguard power creep. Okay. Dragonic Knight, Delate. When your Vanguard attack hits, this unit gets 3,000 power, so it becomes an 11k. How does the 11k and 9k even benefit each other? Their logic is invalid. Maybe if this was a 12k, I would reconsider. Anyways, Dragon Knight Loft. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, 12k. Yikes. Wyvern Strike Yeet. During your turn, if your hand has a grade 3 card, this unit gets 3,000 power. Sure. Alright, let's go over the break ride again, fam. Dragonic Overlord break ride. When rode upon 10,000 power, and if it's an Overlord, it's got name restricted. Once you attack hits a rear guard, CB1, discard a card, and then draw 2. So you're going to net 1, and then you're going to net 2 more cards because you did break ride Rebirth, maybe, or you redid the freaking Persona Blast DOTE. This unit isn't so bad. It's pretty much clearing out the intercept game, so your other units can have a chance at attacking. But if you're doing reverse, obviously if you're doing reverse, you're only going to be able to do 1 damage at the end of the day. So you got to be careful with that, with the restand. But if they only have 1 intercept, technically it's 2 attacks. It just really depends how their intercept game is looking. But the whole point, to me, if you're going to ride Rebirth on the break ride, have a burnout. That's all I can tell you. 1 burnout to kill an intercept. That way, this break ride will matter when you lock all 5 of your units. Because again, like I said, you have a power creep unit. You won't need triggers to hit. You'll be good to go. Just saying, because that's the point of the Rebirth. At the end of lock 5, get 10,000 power. Then at the end of this unit attacked, you stand this unit and draw 2 cards. It's amazing. Stand in and draw 2. You don't even have to pitch. You just stand and draw. You lock 5 just to stand a unit and you draw 2 cards. That's really good. When this unit attack hits a rear guard, counterblast 2 and discard an Overlord from your hand. Target one of your opponent's rear guards. Obviously, they're expecting you to have an Overlord in your hand somehow, and if you did, you can go for this play. I guess this is how another way you clean up the intercept game. But again, like I said, burnout, this, at the end of the day, you got to really play smart when it comes to playing Overlords in general, because burnout's really nice, and if you can prep the Rebirth right, you're technically going to net 3 cards at the end of the day. Pitch 1, you're going to draw 2. So that's a +1, and then draw 2 more, and that's 3. There you go. GG's. You drew 3 cards. That's amazing. So that's going to get you PG Falter at the end of the match of that. Demonic Dragon Berserker Hakonyasha when this unit attacks. It's a filter. Okay. Alright, we are done talking about Kagros. So like I said, Overlord's a very smart unit. Please play smart. Don't be stupid and lock 5 units when Glenio's pitched a reverse card. Totally keep everything locked for an entire turn. If you want him to win that bad, don't do that to yourself. For the love of God, please don't do that to yourself. You will regret it. Honestly. I'm honestly really like, every time I read reverse effect, it's really good. Oh wait, you have to discard a card from me. Never mind, you're only netting 2. Dang it, I gotta read more. Sadly, you're only gonna net 2 if you do the break right effect. So you'll net 2 cards after pitching 2, so again, play your combos correctly, have everything ready to rock and roll, and Rebirth will work out. I totally forgot it was another pitch. Hey, locking 5 just to pitch another card and another card. So again, burnout or his CB2 effect to retire, and that's about it. That's 3 CB in total just to get in 2 attacks on the Vanguard, which you were most likely going to do after retiring the intercepts anyways. So just think of it that way. You're not really losing anything because you didn't hit a trigger or something. I'm just saying. That's all. I'm just saying that. All right. Onwards, my children, to the golden era of Paladins. This is where they're done, and then we're dealing with Bluish Flame and Seekers and whatever mumbo jumbo you guys want to talk to me about. You're learning Liberator Erbium. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, put this unit into your soul to take a Blaster Blade Liberator out of your deck and put it on top of your deck. And if your deck has no Blaster Blade Liberator, put it from drop zone on top of your deck. I don't know how this. Oh, I guess with Zoran. How would this even like work? I guess you would save it. Okay, I get it. Okay. The whole point of this is to give you a crit. This kind of lost value once Zenith gave you that power. This Forerunner makes no sense. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I understand where this Forerunner's coming from. You keep it on the field forever until you rank Monarch, and then you can get a crit because you put a Blaster Blade Liberator on top of your deck. So there you go. What the hell? I'd be a fool if I didn't say I'm not going to test it. I will kind of test it, but honestly, I kind of feel like it could be pointless, but I'm going to test it. Everything deserves a test. So with Zoran, when placed from your deck, put this unit into your soul, and then look at the top 3 cards of your deck and call a Liberator card. So again, having extra chances at getting your intercepts. Or you set up a nice Baldwin column. If you get Baldwin in the back, you're good to go from there on once you do the effect again and you countercharge, so on and so forth. Lucky Sign Rabbit during your turn. If you have more rear guards, 3,000 power for some reason, and it's a front row. Lame. Liberator Star Rain Trumpeter. Guess what, guys? This is a rank reward, so don't worry if you don't pull enough. Grind out 2 and just get top, like, what, 1,000 just to get it? Anyways. So, Liberator Star Rain Trumpeter, when placed, return a black BBL from your drop or your soul to your deck. Priority to the drop zone. Then call the top card of your deck to an open rear guard. So, again, this is a kind of free call if you have Blaster Blade Liberator, and it's very easy to get Blaster Blade Liberator. It really is. So yeah, it is. I mean, you have the Wingall, but like I said, this is going to be a test deck with Erbium, but Wingall Liberator kind of stays with me because again, it sets up your first Blaster Blade's already prepped, and if you draw Blaster Blade anyways, you're more prepped. Miss Rain Knight Bernardo, when placed, unlock one of your lock cards. Interesting G2. Interesting G2 lineup for that, actually. If I can be honest. That's an interesting G2 lineup. Mastigal, during your turn, if your hand has a grade 3 card, this unit becomes 11k, so they actually kept that effect. History Liberator Maron, when placed from your deck, look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck and add a grade 3 or greater card to your hand, so if you didn't get your G3, now you can. The whole point of this effect, I'm guessing, is somehow if it gets randomly called by a different unit or something in between. If you need that Monarch Sanctuary Alfred, you can go search for it. It's any grade 3 card or greater. So grade 3 or greater coming from a gold paladin definitely says Stride's coming. Stride's definitely coming. Just like Echo of Nemesis, Stride is coming. Somehow. Some G4 gold paladin unit is coming. Somehow. I don't know when. Anyways. So we got Monarch Sanctuary Alfred, Limit Break 5. When a Blaster Blade is placed from your deck, this unit gets 10,000 a crit. Really wish they just took that effect out. It's just really lame. They could have just made that LB4 and then called it. But anyway, I guess they didn't want people to spam it at 4 because then he'd just be another Ezel Scissor problem. I guess I can see the logic. Limit Break 4, Soul Blast 2, Counter Blast 3, so they kept his actual TCG effect on that one. But, you know, if it's not named Ezel, Ezel doesn't have to Soul Blast. But the Soul is very easy to maintain with Zoran, so you're good to go. Soul Blast 2, Counter Blast 3, put all the rear guards. So if you even have one rear guard, put it on top of your deck. Then you just call 5 units that are Liberators, and you're good to go. And during your turn, this unit gets 1,000 power. So again, max, it goes up to 16. If you have a booster, 21. So Liberated Holy Shine Dragon, as you all know, this card's actually bringing in some trolls. And by trolls, I mean rewriting Garmer trolls. This card's actually really good for that because, again, if you're playing against a retire deck, you're kind of good to go. Definitely, the Holy Shine Garmer deck can bypass all those retire decks. Revengers, Kagurus, not Glendios, but mostly Kagurus and anything that can retire. So that's nice of them to make a unit like this. Have some synergy. Twin Blade Liberator Margus. Counterblast 2 and put a Liberator Rearguard into the bottom of your deck. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Call 2 cards and those units get plus 5,000 power. Little power creeping moment. Usage for this. Definitely a Blaster Blade Liberator. that can be helpful. Oh, actually, yeah, that could be helpful. If you have the Ballins, this could work. This unit actually could work if you use that G0. I mean, I guess they're trying to make you use it in other ways, maybe because if you have Blast Blade Liberator on top of your deck, and you call it, obviously, mostly for Monarch Sanctuary, but if you used it with Margus, you technically could call a CB2 retire with a good power column at 21k, so all your units hit. So there's that. So when this unit attacks Vanguard, plus 1,000, plus 3,000. So again, with a 7k back row, 21. Okay. And good to go when this unit attacks, put another rear guard at the bottom of your deck, get 5,000 power. I mean, technically recycles heals early. He's not really bound by Limit Break to do that. But neither is Garmer, so there's no point to that either. So, anyways, guys, we went over everything that came out of set 17, what to look for. Miss Rain Knight seems interesting, but I would not definitely screw up my G2 lineup for it. But Trumpeter was amazing. Zoran was amazing. And Arrow makes me want to shoot myself, but I'm going to make a deck about him anyways because he seems interesting enough to play if the cards let me. Overlord, like I said, still good. I mean, you're pitching 2, but you're going to be able to net 2 cards back. So you're good to go. Refuel the hand after playing some intercepts in the front before you lock everything. And Break Right Overlord, like I said, prep your combos correctly, burn out, and then do everything else and get 2 attacks on the Vanguard. Like I said, get your 2 attacks, and then you kind of plus more cards after that with Draw Turbo, and pray you get all your PGs. Remember that. Oh, and then we went over Glendios again and Halcyon. I just want to go over Halcyon because I actually did like the unit's effect. So if you have terrible RNG, draw all your G3s. Well, congratulations. Those G3s are now intercepts. You're welcome. At the end of the day, your whole deck is an intercept besides G1s. Hey. Glendios is still ridiculous when you think about it. He's still going to have some pretty good combo plays. The Magnet Hollow does bring to question for me if I'm going to actually loop Worldline Dragon until I get all my pieces. And then I just countercharge 2. Maybe I just do the effect twice, countercharge 2 with the reverse units I actually have in my hand. And, you know, just kind of go from there. If I draw my Omega Glendios, obviously I'm going to want Reverse Cradle in my hand. You can put the floaty Reverse Cradle back in the deck. And just go from there. And just kind of prep all your combos. And last but not least, Revengers, having Jugabow, Drag Ruler, Desperate Dragon. I mean, nothing really new besides some of the self-damagers and the big self-pinger to yourself where you don't heal from it. So, interesting enough, that's actually all of set 17, guys. That's all you can look forward to. So, stay tuned for a set 18 prediction. Again, I'm doing the glasses thing. That just means I need sleep. So stay tuned for set 18, guys, as we go over some of the Legion support that might be coming first and give you guys more of a glimpse into the future of Zero and how Legion will plan out for the game. Peace out.